Listening? Y'all ready? Okay. So, you guys know who Darth Vader is, right? Right? Who's Darth Vader? Thank you! You guys know who Darth Vader is? Okay. James Earl Jones. Alright, so, I want to create a scene out of this. That's the only way I can, do this. So, y'all ready? Because I'm not. I don't think you guys are going to like this one. He sat there pondering, sweating, sweat dripping down his neck, and you would see his hand come up every so often, lifting up his hood just to dab it just a little bit. He sat there, off, isolated by himself. He sipped his coffee from a really long straw that went up under his cape and stuck into his hood, and you can tell because you hear I looked at him with this strange amazement, and he said to me, "Benny, what are your thoughts?" Listening to his voice, I'm reading it right now. No way. Listening to his voice, I became scared, and I said, my knees were shaking. I was just wondering, why are you wearing this mask? And he stared at me. I mean, I didn't see his eyes peering at me, but I could just feel it. He stopped sipping his became, and I went from to, and I just looked at him. He looked at me like I was a frog, wondering if he kissed me would I turn into a princess. And he leaned closer and I said, "No! Hold, wait." I raised my hand. I couldn't move, and the bartista came over and said, "Can I help you?" And I said, "I would like to order him another coffee and a cake. It's on me. And if you can, bring him a new straw." Before the bartista got to his table, he stood up and left, walked like he had no purpose. I ran over to the window like a curious child, and I peeked behind the blind, and he took off his mask and he reached in his pocket of his cape, and he his pocket on the cape, but he got his rag and he dipped his head, but I tried to see his face. I ran out the door, and as I was about to see, he brought his mask down, looked at me, and again, I froze. I felt coldness from my head down to my toes. And I turned back around, walked into the cafe like I was lost. I sat down. So he enters into the ship, and there he was, faced with this stranger, but someone that shared his blood. He looked at him and he said, Luke, I'm your father. I pondered this moment for a while, and I had to tell someone. So I got up and I looked around and I saw this young lady sitting there. She looked as though she had no fashion. And so I sat down because for me, those that have love of fashion have, well, I won't call them shallow, but have no depth. So I sat down and I said to her, was that Luke's father? Was it his father? She said nothing. She just looked at me as though she was biting her lips. She was licking her lips, and I wondered to myself, is she having an orgasm? The story of my life. So, you guys gave me purpose, strange, life, coffee, penny, Darth Vader, cake, straw, orgasm, fashion, frog.
You did well.
Thank you.
Very well.